months and months of music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Delirious. And we end up cabling this on 4th fret to kind of match the recording. We'll walk through a couple things in root position. And there's this cool little kickoff lick in the intro where you can play the open E 4 times. Kick it off with kind of that open, 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 open. And then you may want to kind of fill that in with a chord. And normally you kind of start on the E minor chord. Normally you do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the D second. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now through the tune though, there's this crazy little chromatic buildup. And chromatic just means you don't skip any notes, actually. We kind of be working through it. So on that E minor, we kind of do that about 4 times, and you can even do kind of a down count, or actually there are a lot of other strumming options here too. One of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So you take the E minor and just try that a lot. You have down, down, for myself, I was feeling really good with the tune, and I mean this is really challenging, but it's something called the 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. What I mean by that is if you take the E minor and do it down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do it down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. Then on the third beat, you do it up on 2, down on 3. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, down, 1, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you go down, up, down, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 down. It should be really fast paced for the tune, but definitely something to practice. And you'll kind of hear this cool little chromatic lead, kind of starting from the 2nd fret on the D, to 3rd fret on the D, to 4th fret on the D, to open G, to 1st fret on the G, to 2nd on the G, to 3rd on the G, to open B, to 1st fret on the B, 2nd fret on the B, 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the B, open E, 1st fret on the high E, 2nd on the E, 3rd on the E. And you could just keep that going, actually. It just kind of gets crazy, and we could just kind of even do a slide and kind of work it out. Or you could try that idea around the chord. And this gets a little weird. You could kind of start with that E minor, but then add in that 3rd fret on the D. And I'm making my changes with down, down, up, down, kind of down, down, up, going to the 3rd fret on the D, and then 4th on the D, open G, 1st fret on the G, 2nd on the G. Randomly, I just switched my fingering for the E minor. So now I'm doing a 2nd finger, 3rd finger to get in that lick around it. 2nd, 3rd on the G, open B, 1st on the B, 2nd on the B, 3rd on the B, 4th on the B, open E, 1st fret on the high E, 2nd. So I'm kind of trying to get that line in around the chord until it gets crazy, and then just kind of work that up. Or if you're digging on the 16th pattern, kind of work it that same kind of way. Just where you're splitting it kind of changes. Let's go crazy. Kind of an idea through the intro. And then from there, we'll be going into kind of our main verse chorus, actually. And the tune is really all about this one riff, where you could play the 2nd fret on the D string. We do that twice, and then we go 1st fret on the D, 3rd on the A, and then 2nd fret on the A. So we're kind of 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, and you're playing an E, E, D sharp, C, B, E, E, D sharp, C, B, kind of through that part. And And you could back that up with the E minor chord, or you could kind of add in some other chords in it. For myself, I was kind of feeling the E minor for the first half of the beat, and then from there kind of go into a C major chord. I normally do this first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second, third finger on the A third, and if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord and it sounds really happy. Now on C's in general, it can be cool to lift the first finger, make that a C major 7, or you could add in the pinky on the B third for a C major 9 and kind of say some stuff around it. Or another way to play C major 9 is to do first finger on the D second, second finger on the A third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working out for the C major. And then from the C, I was kind of feeling the next chord change is kind of a B note when we hit that B note on the A string, kind of making a change to a B minor chord. Now normally you do this as a second fret bar. We'll talk about some really easy ways to do this too. But then 2 on the B third, third finger on the D fourth, pinky on the G fourth. If you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord and it sounds really sad. Now you may also dig on lifting off the pinky and making that a B minor 7, or another way to play B minor 7 is to do first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the high E second, kind of working out for your B minor. Or you may dig on first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. And then that way from the E minor 7 to the C major 9 to that B minor, you could actually leave third and fourth finger down. You may also dig on lifting off the pinky and making that a B minor 11 too. And through that part, if you're doing just downs, it'd be almost kind of like E minor 2, 3, 4, and then C for 2, B for 2, B minor for 2. E minor 2, 3, 4, C, B minor, E minor, C, B, da 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 da. Or if you're doing the down, down, up, down, up, you may want to do the E minor for down, down, up, and then the C for down, B minor for down. E minor, down, up, C, B minor, E minor, down, up, C, B minor. Or if you're doing the 16th pattern, you may want to do the E minor for a down, 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 up, C for a down, down, up, B minor for a down, down, up. Kind of dig on that. E minor, down, down, up, C, B minor. Split the pattern between those chords. E minor with the down, 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 up, and then go to the C for the up, down, and then the B minor for the last down, up, down, up. And kind of mix it up that way. E minor, down, down, up, C with the up, down, B minor, down, up, down, B minor, down, 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 up, C, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, C, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, C, up, down, B minor. And then from there we kind of that main verse chorus on a big E minor chord, and you'll kind of hear this other bass line kind of come in almost like a little synth part, where you could go open 3 on the A string, open 3, and then go third on the low E, and then another 3 on low E, and then first fret on the A, and then we go back to the open A, 3 on the A, O, 3, and then open G, and then third on the D, and then second on the D. It's kind of that O, 3, O, 3, O, 3, 3, 1, O, 3, 3, 1, O, 3, O, 3, O, O, 3, 2, O, 3, O, 3, O, 3, 3, 1, O, 3, O, 3, O, 3, O, 3, 2, it's almost like the tag gets changed. A, C, A, C, A, C, A, C, A, C, G, B flat. No, I'm just playing that G one time. A, C, A, C, A, C, A, C, G, F, E. It's kind of that tag. And you can kind of back up that part with an A minor chord by doing first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second fret, and third finger on the G second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord and it sounds really sad. You may also dig on lifted off the first finger, making that an A sus2, or adding in the pinky on the B string third fret for an A suspended chord and kind of saying some stuff around that A minor. Or you may dig on lifting off the third finger, giving an A minor 7, or adding in the pinky on the high E for on the third for an A minor 7. Or you may even dig on an A7 sus, by doing first finger on the D second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, and kind of working that for the A minor. And randomly, you may want to experiment with kind of doing the chord working the notes around it. Actually, that might be easier with the A sus too if you do a second finger, third finger on the D and G. And then you can have the pinky on one side of the pattern for the O3, and then 3 on low E. First fret's kind of open, or first finger's open for the A string first. O3, 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 3, 1, O3, 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 2, O3, O3, O3. 3, 0, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2. Might be kind of cool. Or you could just work one of the strum patterns around it too. You can do the down, down, up, down, up. Or the down, 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 up, down, down. Or the 16th pattern. So they kind of dig on working with either one of those. And at the end of that kind of bridge break, you'll kind of hear where the chromatic idea that we were doing earlier almost kind of comes back around the A. And what I was digging on is taking the first finger actually for the D and the G string second fret, and then just sliding that up chromatically, kind of working that up into that crazy delirium. So I'm really kind of just strumming the A, D, and G strings there. That could be cool with the A sus 2 shape. We were just doing 2 on the licks. And then we go crazy. And then we come back in on our main verse chorus. Now the weird part is to play on with Steve Aoki. We'll have the capo on 4th fret. So what you want to do is take the capo and put it on 4th fret, and now your E minor is really a G sharp minor, and your C major is really an E major, and your B minor is really a D sharp minor, and your A minor, when we get to that part, is really a G sharp minor. So you could kind of work it just around just that E minor, just to kind of kick it off, kind of with those 4 downs. And then you could work the strumming. You could do the down idea, or you could do the down, down, up, or you could work the 16th pattern. Kind of working through that part. Or something else that I like to add to a song like this too is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, of the down, down, up, throw a bass note in for the chord. So the E minor, you have Louis for the bass. C, you have the A for the bass. On the B minor, you have the A for the bass. And on the A minor, you have the A for the bass. So you can kind of work it as just a bass down, up, down, up. On the E minor. You kind of be working it that way. And then you may want to kind of start that chromatic run. Actually, especially on those 2 down ups, they give you a lot of energy, like on that part, and you can even just go crazy, kind of working it that way. Or if you're digging on the 16th pattern, you could work the that is kind of, and then you can even work basses into that. You could work it as a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, down, 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 or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. Try it that way, yeah. And then the E minor. And then kind of starting that chromatic line. You want to go crazy? And then we come back in on our main thing. So 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2. Kind of working that like. Or if you're digging on the down, down, up, down, up, you can have that E minor, down, up, C, B minor, E minor, C, B minor, E minor, C, B minor. Or you can add basses to that and make it a bass down, up, C, B minor. Bass down, up, C, B minor. work it as a bass, down, down, up, and then go to the C for a bass, down, up, E minor for a bass, down, up. Could be kind of a cool way to do it too. E minor, C, B minor, E minor, C, B minor, E minor, C, B minor, C, B minor. Or you could kind of split the pattern and make it E minor with a bass, down, down, up, C with an up bass, and then the B minor for the last down, up, down. Kind of cool too. E minor, down, down, C up bass, down, down, E minor, down, down, C up bass, down, down, E minor. So we kind of dig on that. And then we repeat that for quite a while, and then you kind of hear the big stop time on the E minor. And then from there, then we'd be going into our bridge part. So you kind of have that start of that 03, 03, 03, 03, 03, 3, 3, 1, 03, 03, 03, 03, 03, 03, 2, kind of around that A minor chord. And you could work that as kind of a bass down, up, down with the A bass. You just wanted to kind of back that up with the chord. Or you could work it with the 16th pattern, the A minor. And get in that lick around the chord, and that could be kind of tricky. Come in and back on our main verse chorus. Now, if you know the licks around these chords, though, feel free to kind of take this lesson and run with it any way you want to. There's lots of ways that you can kind of play around with this. Make it your own with your own thing too. And at the very end, we might want to hit a big E minor to make people clap. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Delirious. So good luck.